So I thought this video, I'll start it off with some things that I did not know about Cuba and maybe some misconceptions that maybe people may have. So my wife is Mexican, right? And so when I married her and I got in a relationship with her, there was things I also learned about Mexican culture that is not that we assume. So for example, burritos is not Mexican. Chips and salsa is not really authentic Mexican food, right? That's something we do here in America. And so in the same way, here in Cuba, if I would mention, if you think of the first food you think about in Cuba, what would you say? There you go, Cuban sandwich. Guess what? Doesn't exist, is not real. Cuban sandwiches are not real. So so that's another misconception. So I was thinking, oh, we gotta holler at a Cuban sandwich, bump that, no. And secondly, when you thought of Cuba, you thought about movies or whatever, you see everybody wearing all white. But there's actually, it's not the case. You don't see everybody wearing all white. However, you do see some wearing all white. And what that is from a particular religion. And I think the first year or so, you have to wear all white in the time of conversion or whatnot. So I'm sure I'm butchering something, but that's where it pretty much starts from there. So it's a religious thing, all white. But this heat, I can see why wearing all white and linen and stuff may work out. Secondly, Cuban cigars. I thought I would walk around and see everybody smoking a cigar, but that's not the case. So Cuban cigars are actually, like the authentic, I guess, Cuban cigars are actually regulated by the government, and so a lot of Cubans don't particularly smoke those or whatnot, and so they'll smoke their other type of cigars. So I've seen more people smoking cigarettes, and I've seen more people smoking cigars. So so yeah, those are just some things, some random facts that I did not know about Cuba. Another one is Wi-Fi. So an issue that I've been having since I have been here has been Wi-Fi. And what happens is that in order to get Wi-Fi, you have to buy a Wi-Fi card, and it's only for a certain amount of time, and then you have to be in Wi-Fi selected areas like a park or whatever. There's a particular hotel in Havana, and that has 24-hour Wi-Fi, and if I believe, this was the hotel. I think it's 4 Point Sheraton. This was a hotel that after I think President Obama helped open up some things, connections with Cuba and America, that was the first Americanized hotel or whatnot, and they had 24-hour Wi-Fi access there. And so as far as I know, out of all the nation of Cuba, that's the only hotel that has it. As far as I know, again, I may be wrong, but this is what I've heard and read and whatnot. So so anyway, Wi-Fi is scarce, right? And secondly is this: if you're traveling to Cuba and you have a cell phone plan and you're gonna get international plans, a lot of cell phone companies Cuba will not recognize international plans. So I have AT&T, even though I purchase international plan, even though every single option they have, Cuba does not recognize it. So if you're here thinking you're gonna make normal phone calls and things of that nature, you're gonna have a fat bill. So just make sure you keep your phone on airplane mode. Only communicate when you're on Wi-Fi if you don't want to pay that fat bill. So anyway, some random things I've learned here in Cuba thus far, and so I'm gonna teach again tonight. So anyway, so this has been super fun so far, and this is super cool too. On the way being picked up, we stopped, did some errands, and I guess we're gonna have some pork tonight. And because in the back of the van, they laid down some like tarp thing and pulled out this huge carcass of frozen pig, and slatted on there. I'm like, this is the dopest thing in the world. So anyway, so we're gonna have feast, fellowship, fun, teach. It's gonna be super good here in Cuba. And I think sweating is a national sport here in Cuba, because man, everybody's drenched. So anyways, holla at y'all.